Hi, my name is Sherry Lee with the Manic Organic, and I'm just making a video today to help explain how I compost. I get a lot of questions concerning composting about how do you start a compost pile, what's the best kind of compost pile if you're buying one, and what basically my method is. And that's what I'm going to share with you, is how I compost here on our homestead. So what we've got is a few pallets that we've put together to make an open air composter, and I have two sides to it. I use one for the actual composting and the other for the sifting, and I'll explain the sifting in a second, but I want to start with our compost side. This is where we throw our kitchen scrap, our yard scrap. We throw in ashes from our fire pit. We put in coffee grinds, pretty much anything that's not fat or meat or dairy, nothing that's going to rot, no animal products really. So what we do here is I keep a low side and a high side, and in the low side is where we dump all of our fresh stuff that's just coming out of the kitchen or just coming out of the garden. We keep a bucket in our kitchen to collect our stuff throughout the week, so a couple times through the week we'll come out and dump the bucket into the low side. You can see now I have some fresh orange in there. We recently juiced some oranges. And one of the biggest concerns that people seem to have about composting is flies and smell, especially in an open air compost like this. Well, you're not going to have to worry about flies and smell when you do it this way, because when you put something fresh in the low side, you immediately turn the high side over onto it. And your best friend in this situation is going to be a pitchfork. It's it takes a little work, a little back-breaking effort, if you will, but it's actually a really good back workout. And when you have this sort of level of production, it's not that much work. We turn it probably 2 or 3 times a week, and we're very successful with our compost production. So when you put the fresh stuff in, then you take the old stuff and you turn it completely over and you cover it up. And right there, you're taking care of the smell, you're taking care of the flies. You're not gonna have a problem with either of those things at all if you consistently turn it. I have a great reminder to turn it over immediately in my dogs, because if I don't, then the dogs are gonna come in and drag this stuff everywhere. And that's gross and annoying. So you turn it over right away and forget about it. So you're going to want to keep it moist. If it hasn't been really rainy, or if it hasn't even been moderately rainy, you're going to want to hit it with a garden hose every now and then, because dry compost just doesn't break down as much as wet compost does. Again, this is my method. This is what we do. I learned this a couple years back, and I've stuck with it. I have tried enclosed composters, I've tried tumbling composters, and this is my personal favorite method. Not to say it's the right one or the only way to do it. This is just what I find works best for us. Now, what we do with the compost once it's been in here and turning for a while is move it over to the sifter. Now, the sifter is just a simple wood frame with some 1/4-inch wire in the bottom of it. All of this, again, is salvaged. We found everything in the trash. We got very lucky. So what we do, take a couple pitchforks full of the compost from the high side on the other side of the 2 bins here, throw it onto the sifter, push it back and forth, and when you see underneath, here comes all of the great dirt falling through. You're just keeping the really big stuff on top here. And when you're done sifting and you're left with the bigger stuff like twigs and eggshells, this is one of the animal products you can put into a compost pile because it provides lots of really great calcium. All of the bigger stuff that hasn't broken down will just be dumped right back into the compost pile. So you're not wasting anything. And then this stuff that gets sifted through turns into the awesome soil that your plants will love. We're basically making dirt. That's the good stuff right there. That's the gold. And this, for me, today is going to go into a couple of new potato towers that I'm building. And that's it, in a nutshell. So, if you have any more questions, if this wasn't simplified enough for you, or if you feel like I left anything out, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm available all the time online, so just post a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Otherwise, happy composting. If you also have a method that works great for you. That's completely different from our open air method. If you like enclosed composters or tumbling composters and you've had great luck with them, please share that information with us, because like I said, this seems to be one of the most common questions I get. And it's really vital for organic gardening to have your own compost production going on, because it's hard to get a hold of some really great quality organic compost out in the world. It's best to just try and make your own. So good luck, happy gardening, and thanks so much for watching.